Overseas now to Greece, a country on the brink of collapse. Banks shuttered, ATMs running out of cash, and now echoes in our country. Vacationing Greeks left stranded here penniless. ABC's Alex Marquardt reports in from Athens on the eve of one of the biggest showdowns in Greek history.
When people think of Greece, they picture crystal blue seas, ancient ruins, and sunny islands packed with tourists. On Instagram, it looks like a paradise. But for many Greeks, living there feels like the exact opposite of paradise. Low wages, sky-high prices, and years of economic struggle have made daily life a serious challenge. So why is it becoming harder and harder for ordinary people to survive in Greece? A country so beautiful, yet so difficult to live in. Let's break it down.
Yes, Greece is the latest European economy to be on life support. A decade of frantic overspending has left it roughly $400 billion in debt.
To understand Greece today, we need to rewind. Back in 2009, Greece fell into one of the worst debt crises in modern history. The government had borrowed heavily for years, and when the global financial crisis hit, the system collapsed. Bailouts came from Europe and the IMF, but they came with a price: strict austerity. That meant budget cuts, tax hikes, and painful reforms.
Tonight, a country deeply divided. All week, the banks closed, life savings locked up inside, endless lines at ATMs with withdrawals limited to just $67.
For ordinary Greeks, this wasn't just numbers on a spreadsheet. It meant fewer jobs, shrinking salaries, and an entire industry shutting down. Fast forward more than a decade, and Greece is still carrying that weight. The economy has recovered on paper, but for millions of citizens, life never went back to normal. The biggest problem today is the mismatch between wages and living costs. The average monthly salary in Greece is around 1,000 to 1,200 euros. Sounds okay until you realize rent for a small apartment in Athens can easily swallow half of that.
The country really has to pull itself together somehow.
Heartbreaking scenes, like this retired man collapsing in tears after failing to get his wife's pension.
Add electricity, food, and transport, and there's almost nothing left. Supermarket prices are especially brutal.
The government isn't good. There's no hope.
A carton of milk, a loaf of bread, basic vegetables, they often cost more in Greece than in richer European countries. And with energy prices rising, families are making tough choices.
This sign says that Greece should just walk away from its massive debt. And it's an idea a lot of Greeks support. The danger is that it could trigger a catastrophic and global financial meltdown.
Heating their homes or filling their fridge. So while tourists enjoy affordable vacations, locals are wondering how to make it through the month.
Greece's Prime Minister George Papandreou wants to avoid triggering a disaster like that.
I'd like to say that we are determined as a country and as a government to be on track with the program.
He ordered an emergency cabinet shuffle to push through even more drastic financial reforms.
Housing deserves its own spotlight. Over the past decade, platforms like Airbnb and foreign investors buying up property have made it harder for Greeks to.
Last night, tens of thousands turning out on both sides of Sunday's historic referendum that may impact not just Greece's future in Europe, but the world economy as well.
Find affordable housing. In cities like Athens and Thessaloniki, rents have jumped dramatically because so many apartments are now reserved for tourist or short-term stays. For young Greeks, especially.
This flea market is usually bustling on a Sunday. Typically, there are thousands of people here poring over antiques and buying goods, but not today. Today, it's far less busy, and there's a palpable sense of frustration and anger.
Moving out of their parents' home is almost impossible. And for families, rent eats up such a big part of their income that saving for the future feels like a fantasy. Then there's the job market. While Greece's official unemployment rate has dropped compared to the dark days of the crisis,
The country needs a $17 billion emergency loan, mostly from European banks and governments, by the start of July, just so it can pay the interest on.
Youth unemployment is still among the highest in Europe. Greeks often pack their bags and leave for Germany, the UK, or other EU countries in search for better opportunities.
Back. Last week, demonstrators battled police in downtown Athens, furious about tax hikes they've already suffered, as well as job losses and an overall pay cut of 20%.
This brain drain isn't just sad on a personal level. It hurts the whole economy. When the country's most skilled workers leave, innovation and productivity suffer, creating a cycle that's hard to break.
Unofficial estimates put the real number of unemployed young people at 40%. That's almost 1 in 2 20-somethings out of work.
Ask a Greek business owner, and they'll tell you. Taxes are heavy, and bureaucracy is endless. Starting or running a small business in Greece can feel like wrestling with paperwork rather than focusing on growth.
Time on their hands, many have joined this protest camp outside the Greek parliament. Nick is one recent victim of Greece's shrinking economy.
What happened?
I lost my job. No job, no money, go.
Combine that with high VAT on goods, and both entrepreneurs and consumers end up squeezed. For ordinary people, that means fewer job opportunities, higher prices, and a constant sense that the system is working against them, not for them. Is there hope? Absolutely. Tourism is strong, and Greece still attracts millions every year. Shipping remains a powerful industry. And with its location, Greece has the potential to be an energy and trade hub. But unless wages rise to match the cost of living, housing becomes affordable, and youth have real job prospects, the Greek dream will remain out of reach for many citizens. Greece may look like paradise on the surface, and for tourists, it often is. But behind the postcard images, millions of Greeks are struggling just to get by. The big question is, will Greece finally escape the cycle of low wages and high costs?
I mean, again, it's a terrible situation, but it feels so far away. The reality of it is this could have a direct impact on the United States. How so?
Or will another generation grow up believing they need to leave their homeland to survive? What do you think? Could you build a life in Greece today? Or is it simply too expensive? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more stories on the world's economies.